Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dee and this is the Optimistic Network. I was cutting a watermelon and I said, why don't I just video me cutting this watermelon? Because the other day I was watching a video and some guy was trying to cut a watermelon and I realized he said it was his first time and he really didn't know how to cut a watermelon. Mind, to each their own, and there are a lot of ways to cut a watermelon, but I've cut many watermelons, some big old ones. This is not so big. It was a hot day and we were gonna grill out, so I was just cutting this to mix with some vodka, and at the end of this video I have the vodka mixture that I made. It's nice and refreshing in a hot on a hot summer day. First thing I did was clear the sink and I rinsed the sink out and then I washed the watermelon. I don't know, I just used the Scotch Brite with a little soap on it and I washed the outside because I think watermelons are really dirty on the outside because they grow on the ground, and when they're in store they put them among other things and everybody come and touch them, so I just think they're dirty. And when you're gonna cut it, or when you're cutting it, chances are you're gonna touch the skin on the front of it or something, and you don't want the dirt from the outside on the inside. So I hope you're watching as well as listening, because I did cut into it already. I just run the knife over to mark where I was gonna cut, and then I push the point of the knife down at the top, and then I just cut back into it, and I cut it in two. And it's not gonna be perfect all the times unless you're a pro at this. I'm no pro, I just know how to use a knife. And make sure you're very comfortable using a knife before you attempt to cut a watermelon, please. And I cut it down in two, and then I take a half and started cutting it the way I want it. And as you can see, I'm cutting them in squares. I'm trying to get them small because what I'm gonna do is soak them in vodka, so that's what I was going for. But it depends on what you're gonna do with yours. That will depend on how you'll cut it. I was gonna soak most of it in the vodka, so I put most of it cut up in squares in the dish, and then I just left a little. So that's just me cutting up. But and I think I cut it the another way, so you'll see me cut it another way too. So yes guys, make sure you're comfortable with knife. Make sure it's not real hard. The skin is not so hard. Just be comfortable. And you probably, if you have a big watermelon, you probably want a big enough knife. You don't want a baby knife because you don't want it slipping away. And if you notice, I did mine in the sink because it's round and I don't want it to slip off on me, so I did it down in the sink where it was low and it couldn't move. Guys, make sure you use a knife that you can control, because it will slip around from you sometimes because it's juicy and the juice is running down on your hand, so it may be a little slippery. So make sure you use a knife that you can control. If you notice me using my knife, you notice I can control my knife. A lot of times it slip away from me, so you basically have to be comfortable with knife. I'm very comfortable with knives. I love cooking. I'm in the kitchen all the times. I like sharp knife. I get cut every now and then, but I'm comfortable with knife, and I'm not gonna, well, I've tried not to get no big old cut and hurt myself, but I'm really comfortable with knife. And am I the only one, if you've cut watermelon before, or you've been around people that cut watermelon, am I the only one, if they're cutting it out of the skin, you're eating the skin, like any red that's left in it, you're eating eating the red, and you're eating a little piece as you go. When you cut a watermelon, by the time you get done, you're so full if you follow to eat it, especially if it's sweet. This watermelon was very sweet. That was a good buy. And it was very juicy as well. You know, some, it was just perfect. Like, it just melt on your tongue when you bite. It was just so good and perfect and just really sweet. That was a really good buy. I enjoyed that one. And guys, you see, when you're no pro, things will slip from you. I wanted to include that part because I don't want to person to think, oh, you act like you know how to cut watermelon so perfect. If it's your first time, it's not gonna be perfect. It's not my first time, but sometimes it'll never be perfect because it does get a little slippery and slip around a little, especially if you're not resting it and when you're handling bigger pieces. So I'm done cutting in the squares that I'm gonna put the vodka on. So I'm just gonna put away this piece. I cut a piece for my mom, and then I'm just putting a couple of pieces in a dish to put away to eat. So basically, most of it I put with the vodka. It was just like two little slices because I didn't want to do no more. I'm just rinsing up the sink because I like to clean it up right away. You want to clean that up right away because it's so sweet, and anything it get dried on, it gets sticky, and you don't want it if a little flash on the floor, in the sink. You want everything cleaned and washed away and dried away. So I just cleaned up right away, and then I'm gonna mix that rum. It's not rum, it's vodka. So I just have like my favorite vodka of all times, and it's the Smirnoff Green Apple Vodka. So it's summertime and I want to enjoy some fruits and some liquor, but I don't want to mix my liquor too much with added calories. So even though the watermelon is calories, but it is like fresh fruit. So you can say I got my serving of fruit for the day if I have a drink of this. Plus, eating watermelon in the summertime is a great way to stay hydrated. Just watch your sugar intake. Sometimes you can probably, add a little water to it or something if it's too sweet. Put it in your water and drink your water. But don't consume too much of the sweet melon because it's very sweet. So I mixed it with a colada. Was that just a little pina colada mix? You can get that anywhere. Pina colada mix. It doesn't have alcohol in it. It's just a little taste of pina colada, so you can just add your rum to it. So what I did, I just added to the vodka and the watermelon, and then a half a lime. I just squeeze a half a lime over it, and I'm telling you, this was to die for. I leave it in the fridge to cool. I want it real cool, and this was to die for. So instead of having a cup of alcohol, a cup of liquor drinking, what I do is just put some in a cup and I'll eat it with a spoon, and then I'll drink off whatever vodka. It's really, really, really good, and it give you a nice little buzz real quick. I'm not sending anybody go drink no liquor if you're underage, Make sure you're 21 and older to drink, and when you drink responsibly. So yeah, drink responsibly, and yeah, enjoy. I hope you guys like it. I love you guys, and I will talk to you again. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Mwah.